Well, hey there, you two P2 figure here. The story of my computer fix-it business. We used to sit on the patio a lot and barbecue with the kids. We would play chess or ride the moped or set up I have a track ball that came off of a full-size video game. Wired that into a USB. Basically, I took the trackball apart and looked at it, and it had two data wheels with IR send and receive, which is the same thing that's in a mouse, a smaller mouse. So I just hooked it up, and it worked. So I had a 51-inch CRT that we would set up, and I would set up 4 speakers. I had a sound card that had surround sound with an echo in the back channels. So I would put 2 speakers in the front and 2 in the back, and in the grass outside. You would stand there waist high, have this trackball, and we would play Golden Tee golf. We had a skittle shuffle ball, shuttlecock kind of thing. We were playing on a board where you knock the other guy up. That was really fun. I forgot what it was called. And then like Marble Madness. Pretty much, I went through the MAME, all of the MAME stuff, and found all of the best trackball games that I could find. So that was one of the activities we would do on the patio. I slow cook. I smoke my ribs. So it's a whole day thing, sitting out there. Back then, drinking beer with the kids. Well, kids weren't drinking beer. So we get to know this family, Humberto and Susana. They were Mexican. They had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they lived a couple houses over. Now they were out a lot. Humberto, excuse me. Humberto he cooked, and he knew how to throw a party. He also, I don't know if they had a big family, but people would come from Chicago. All these people would come, and he always invited us. I was doing computer work for them, like they really didn't know what they were doing. And their first computer, the network died on the motherboard, so I had a network card. I sold them that for $5, installed it, and got them going. So they used to always be getting virused. She would click on any free offer, and I'd be like, "No, Susanna, you can't. You don't need WeatherBug. Okay, if it's free, it means it's a virus." So eventually, she kind of started listening to me and learned, and they were like, "Wow, this guy's a guru." Like they really were impressed because I could hardware and software. I could take care of whatever needed to be taken care of. So they started hooking me up, and we were getting knocked on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Every other weekend, somebody was coming, and it would be Humberto with one of their relatives from Chicago with a laptop, usually, and some guy would be like, "How much you gonna charge?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What's wrong with it?" And it would be like 30, 50, or 80. If it was a 3-day thing of me working, and I had to completely reinstall the operating system and harvest all their photos, I would charge them $80. And they were thrilled. They were so happy to pay that. So this was going on for a couple of years, and I got this one job. This kind of a big guy that I knew him from the parties. His wife wore a lot of makeup. She was kind of attractive. She carried herself like that. She was a normal looking girl, but she gussied herself up a lot. Heels and shit. Anyway, she had this computer. They were real worried about it. It was her daughter's communion. Daughter's like 9, 10 years old. And she's like, "We had 3 cameras at the communion. We put all the pictures on this computer, and now we can't get them. It's got a virus." So I went on it. Well, she warned me. She said, "Oh, my husband may have been naughty on the computer." So I go on it. There's 5 or 6 different like logins of Windows with file systems all over the computer, and there's pictures scattered all over it. And what I found was that computer had porn like to the hills. Like it had so much porn, and it was bad news. It was like rape stuff with it was always Caucasian, like a super fat woman, like unbelievably like a whale fat, with like many, never white guys. And after about an hour of that, like I would find, oh, here's a picture. It's the daughter going in the church to talk to the priest or whatever, there she is. And then you'd hit the next picture. Oh, close up, So, yeah, it sucked. It really sucked. And I'm trying to figure out a way to not see all this porn. What I ended up having to do, first of all, I went outside where there was light, and then I put a piece of paper up on it and had just kind of a little fold over. Because I remember going to bed, closing my eyes and seeing stuff I didn't want to see. I remember going to bed, and like, oh, it was just, it was really hard on me. It really was. I'm not a porn guy, and if I was, I don't think gang rape, interracial gang rape would be my thing. Don't think that would float my boat. So yeah, she was right. Her husband was naughty. But what it was maybe 10 photos of the ceremony. There was like, 7 pictures on one camera in one Windows logon in one directory, or scattered all mixed in with this porn, and then 2 on another login and 1 on another login. And I got them all, burnt them to a CD, and I was like, are you like, and they were all thank you, and I was like, are you sure that's it? Like, you should have told, like, I found those kind of right away. I thought that there was more, like the way you described it, I really didn't think it was 10 pictures out of the 487,000 images that were on this thing. So yeah, that's my computer business story. I'm sure other people that do this type of thing have similar stories. We're flawed. Human beings are flawed, and people have voracious appetites for things that you'd be surprised about. So that's my computer fix story. Again, if I get a computer from somebody and I tell them, thank you, we're going to recycle it, first thing I'll do is just wipe that drive. That's what I do. Because you don't want to know what they're into. You don't. But if I buy a digital camera and the memory card's still in it and it's full of pictures of a European vacation, tune in and find out what I do in the next video. Does he make a montage and upload it with a snazzy soundtrack? Does he delete it? Does he edit the photos? Tune in and see. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Be good to the ones that you need to be good to, and F the rest. Right? Peace.